All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Zubin Zaveri, and as always, I welcome all of you to this particular webinar. And in this webinar, we will be learning about how to use RRG, relative rotation graph. All right. I'm sure many of you have already, started using it. Some of you would have heard this term maybe for the first time, so don't worry. I will start explaining what is RRG, how to see RRG, and from there on, how to select stocks for using this particular tool. Okay, this particular tool, let me tell you, it's made by Mr. Julius de Campner. All right. And this is not a new tool, but relative rotation graph does not have much you know what to say, it's not well known in Indian markets, but it is really widely used in all other markets, especially the US markets. And what are the uses? So basically, this tool which is made, this tool is made for specially for positional to medium term traders or investors. Especially it is for investors. But like any other chart, RRG, relative rotation graph, it's also a chart. Okay. It has, what is the difference between a traditional chart and RRG? I'll let you know in a while. Both are charts, but this particular graph, if you go for a lower time frame chart, then you can also look at intraday trading. And how will it help you? So basically, this tool, whether for intraday trading or for investment, RRG will help you to identify stocks. So I know I always say that there are three questions that we need to answer in this stock market. And those three questions are: number one, stock selection; number two, entry; and number three, exit. So entry and exit, we have various methods. But what about the first question, that is stock selection? So RRG, like any other, you use the traditional way, like you can use scanners to identify stock, and to identify stocks that are looking bullish or bearish. Similarly, RRG can also help you identify, number one, strong sector, and within the strong sector, which is the strong stock. So this is the best use of RRG. And let me, without any delay, let me share this particular screen with you. And this is the web portal of our Strike platform, web.strike.money. In the analyze section, the last option that is given, RRG, relative rotation graph, once you click it, you will get something like this. So there will be one table besides, and this is the graph. So basically, uh, there are four quadrants that you can see: leading, weakening, lagging, and improving. All right. Now, I told you what is the difference between a traditional chart and RRG. So basically, uh, if we look at it, if we look at the traditional chart, in a traditional chart, we only have x-axis and y-axis. Yeah, from 0 to, here we have timeline. All right, and here we have price on the y-axis that gets posted. So this is a normal graph technical chart that we are looking at. But how is RRG looking? As RRG has four quadrants, it has x-axis and y-axis. All right. Now, on the y-axis, what gets plotted? The momentum of that particular stock or the index. It gets plotted on the y-axis. And on the x-axis, RS gets plotted. RS meaning the relative strength of that particular stock or that particular index. It gets plotted on the x-axis. Now, at the center, instead of having 0, we have 100. All right. And then we have 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. We have 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, and so on and so forth. Similarly, even on the y-axis, we have 100, 101, 102, 3, 4, 5, and 99, 98, 97, 96, and so on and so forth. So this is the graph of RRG on your left hand side, which has four quadrants, and the traditional chart has only one quadrant, where on the x-axis the time gets plotted and on the y-axis price gets plotted. I hope you got the difference between the two charts. Yes. Okay. Now, uh, so this is how the chart, the RRG graph looks like. All right, and then there are these arrows. Some arrows are going up, some arrows are going sideways, some arrows are coming down, some arrows are over here. So what to interpret, how to interpret this? All right, so we will first learn how to interpret this, and then we will understand and actually interpret the data over here. All right, very quickly, let me just type something in the comment section so that I know you are here, and we will have some nice interactive session. All right, any queries, any doubts, feel free to type it in the comment section. And if at all any of your questions are not answered, I will definitely you know uh, have a 10 to 15 minute session towards the end of this webinar, and in that 10 to 15 minutes we will only have questions and answers. All right, so thank you, Vijay bhai, Lalit bhai. uh, all right, we have around 100 plus people over here. Chalo, let's begin. And yes, before we continue further, for those who have just joined in, I've just introduced, what is RRG and how to interpret RRG for trading or for investments. This is what we will be covering in today's session. Those of you who already have and subscribed for Strike, fantastic. I'm sure you are liking it. And those of you who have not, you can start subscribing to it. And if you subscribe in today's session, while this session is going on, if you subscribe, you will get a special offer. And that offer is for 1 year subscription. You will have to pay only 4,700 rupees. That comes to around 350 or 400 rupees per month. And for a 6 month subscription, 2,600 rupees would be for the 6 month subscription. All right, the link to subscribe will be given in the description in this particular video. You can click on that and subscribe. Any doubts, feel free to comment in the comment section. All right, so let's begin and try to understand what this RRG looks like. All right, let me delete this. The traditional chart we don't want now, so I'll just put delete button. Okay. So here we have RRG chart over here. Now let's assume. Okay. Let me zoom this also and take any another pen. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So we are right in the middle of the screen. Okay. Now let's assume a particular. Let me take different color. Okay. Blue. Okay. Let's assume one particular stock arrow. All right, arrow. There are arrows, right? You can see over here there are arrows. Okay. So if we see an arrow sloping upwards, all right. So what do we have? And in this arrows also, no, if you see thoroughly, you have these dots in between. So these are the points. So this was the monthly chart. There's a monthly chart. So on the month of November, which starts over here. So So this in the November month, you can see the RS ratio and RS momentum, which is being shown on this particular you know you can say this box, gray box. So you can say that on the x-axis, the RS ratio is being plotted. All right, the center line is over here at 100, and on the y-axis, momentum is being plotted. This center black line is also at 100. So now when we see that uh, for Nifty Financial Service, you can see that RS ratio was at 95.83 and momentum was at 99.43 in the month of November. Then what happened in the month of December? So from this dot, it has gone up. So in the month of December, all right, the momentum has gone up from 99.43 to 100.23, and RS ratio from 95.83 has gone up to 96.45. So basically the arrow has gone up from November, December, January, February, and the current month, which has started from March. Okay, the date is 3rd March. So this month, the first trading day of this month was 3rd, and that's why the label is 3rd. The data is updated up to till date. All right, just for the mentioning, the first trading day of that particular month, and if it is a weekly chart, first trading day of that week, that date is written over here. Okay, so in this example, we see that the arrow has gone up. When the arrow has gone up, we can see that the momentum, which was maybe at 96, is now gone to 102, meaning the momentum has gone up for that particular stock or that particular index. Similarly, if arrow is sloping downwards, meaning in this particular index, the momentum has gone down from maybe 101 to maybe 95, whatever it is. All right, so momentum has gone down. So if you are a bullish, which one would you which arrow would you like to prefer, the arrow which is sloping north or the arrow which is sloping south? Which arrow would you prefer? Come on, quickly type it in the comment section and let me know whether you have understood. If you are bullish, then which arrow would you prefer? The one which is sloping upwards or the one which is sloping downwards? Quickly write it in the comment section and let me know. Absolutely. As a bullish, you will focus on the arrows which is sloping northwards. Okay, clear? Yes. Now, if the arrow is sloping towards the right hand side, what does this mean? The RS, relative strength compared to what? So we have something called as benchmark. Okay, benchmark index. So by default, all the benchmark index will be shown over here. Can you see this over here on your top left side? Benchmark, it's Nifty 50. Okay, by default we will focus only on Nifty 50. All right, so what does this mean is when the arrow is sloping on the right hand side, this particular index is outperforming the benchmark Nifty 50. All right, it is outperforming. So what is happening? From maybe 99, this arrow next reading is going to 102, something like this. Okay, so what has happened? This particular index is outperforming the Nifty 50. And if the arrow is sloping towards the left, if arrow is sloping towards the left, it means that this particular index is underperforming. Is that clear, my friends? Yeah, underperformer. All right. Uh, Again over here, this arrow over here is outperformer. All right. When the index, when the arrow is sloping upwards, meaning momentum gainer. All right, and if the arrow is sloping down, meaning momentum loser. Okay, did you understand this, my friends? Everybody? Yeah. Come on, I need participation. I want maximum people to answer. If you answer, definitely you will understand it better, right? Quickly tell me up till now. So good. So far, so good. Okay. Now this is such an easy way. This is such an easy way, my friends. That Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Lalit ji, Vijay ji, Ratnesh. Thank you for your response. All right. Now, this makes it such an easy task for us to identify which sector, okay, is performing and which sector is underperforming. So, if you have understood this, thank you, Hariji. What we need, the best case scenario. Now I will explain you the best case scenario and the worst case scenario, which is something that we want, you know and I will explain this directly on this particular RS chart. So yeah, by default, what will happen is, for those who will be using it for the first time, we have on this table will also open up, and by default only indices. So these are the indices that are predefined, we have predefined. And by default, you will see the daily time frame chart of RRG of all these sectors. So there will be a lot of clutter. Now, my friends, listen to me very carefully. We are working on segregating, these broader indices to the sectorial indices. So very soon we will have sectorial indices separate watch list, and broader indices separate watch list by default. You can do that. But as of now, what you can do is, you can go to the home section, and in the home section, you can create a watch list where I have created like this over here. Taken these 18 sectors. All right, I've taken these 18 sectors and I have customized this software manually. All right, and once this watch list is done, you can come to RRG. All right, and in RRG, instead of only indices, the watch list that you have made, sectors easy, you can click on that. So what will happen is, the mid cap 250 and mid cap 100 and all those broader indices, they all will just go away, and you will actually get a sector. 18 there are 18 broad sectors over here. You will get the graph of those 18 sectors. All right, I have some questions over here. How can I use RRG in the current market condition? Vijay bhai, this is exactly what I will be discussing. But first, let's understand how to use RRG. Okay. Then we have another question. Does the benchmark index mean Nifty 50 or the sector specific? Okay, great question. Nari Mathil Biju Maniji. Okay, hi Maniji. So over here, by default, the benchmark is Nifty 50. Okay, if you are looking at sectors, the benchmark is Nifty 50, or you can convert it into Nifty 500 also. All right, but better thing is Nifty 500 has many stocks and all those things. We want precise benchmarking. That is, Nifty 50 is a good way to use the benchmark. Okay. Now, if you are using an individual, we have various. Let's say you are using FMCG. You select Nifty FMCG. Then what will happen is, all the FMCG stocks will be coming here on the table, and the FMCG RRG chart, stock specific RRG charts, will come over here, and their benchmark will be Nifty FMCG. If you wish, you can change this benchmark to Nifty 50 also. All right, so the idea is, don't change the stock specific to Nifty 50. Keep it Nifty FMCG only. So idea is to find out, if at all, if one particular sector is looking good, you want to invest in FMCG. Then in FMCG, you can see that there are so many counters, right? There are so many counters. So we want to invest in one or two counters in FMCG. Then which is the best one? All right, so it is good that you compare FMCG stocks with the benchmark Nifty FMCG. I hope this answers your question, Mr. Money. Right? I'll come back to sector watch list, and here you have various time frame: 60-minute, daily, weekly, monthly. All right. Date range 3 months. So since last 3 months, you will get the data over here. You can also increase it up to 1 year. And then there is something called as these counts, 5 days. This 5 day is nothing but, this last 5 day data is being plotted over here, right? So this is today, 11th of March. This was yesterday, 10th of March, 7th, 6th, and 5th. If you want, you can increase this. So, the tail will keep on going up. You can increase this up to 30 days. All right. Maximum up to 30 days, you will be able to do it. So here you go. Yeah. Up to 29 days. Okay. Yeah. You can. Okay. 30 is there. Up to 30 days. Now, this will look very cluttered. You will not be able to do that. So the best thing is, five by default, we keep it. And we have identified this 5 as a default over here. All right. And one more thing that you can see is there is a play button over here. Click on this play button. So since last 3 months, how has this performed? So it will show you a nice graphical picture of how have the sectors performed. Okay. You can, in between, if you want, you can pause, you can play, all these things, you will be able to do it. And you will be able to visually, you will be able to visualize how have they performed over a period of last 3 months. Okay. So now, coming back to this. All right. Let's suppose I tell you. Okay, I'll draw a new one. Let's say this is the RRG. Okay. Oops. All right. A particular stock or index RRG is something like this over here. Okay. And then there is one more thing, one more index whose RRG is something like this over here over a period of last 5. So let's say this is a sector A and this is sector B. Now, a quick question: which one would you prefer? Sector A is stronger or sector B is stronger? Tarkeshwar Shukla ji, I will definitely come into it. But first answer. That's the objective of this particular webinar. Towards the end of the webinar, you will be able to answer this particular question. All right. So over here, I have two graph of sector A and sector B. The question is, according to you, which is strong? So Lalit Kumar ji says sector B. Princeton also says B. Okay. All right. Why? Now I will tell you why. Is because the tail length. So you have to understand something like this: the tail length. So understand, this is 100. All right. This can be 99, and maybe this can be 97. All right. So what has happened is that within a fixed period of time, A has traveled. Both are sloping upwards. That means both have gained momentum. All right. But my friend, B momentum 5 days ago was at 95. All right. And now it is maybe 104. Okay. But A's momentum 5 days back was 99 or 98, and now it's 101 or 102, whatever it is. So what do you think? If just looking at the momentum, you can see that A's momentum from 98 has gone up to 101, and B's momentum has gone up from 95 to 104. So which is stronger, A or B, Mr. Money? A's momentum has gone up a little bit, but B's momentum has gone up significantly, right? So you are right, Lalit Kumar ji, Princeton, that sector B is more stronger than compared to sector A. So Rajesh ji, you have just joined. Welcome. RRG stands for relative rotation graph. And if you have missed something, don't worry. Stay with me right now. Okay. So when a particular sector, the graph is sloping upwards, all right, it means the momentum is gaining, all right. And if the tail length, you can see that the tail is very big. If the tail is bigger, okay, so now over here in the live chart, can we see all of them are of 5 days, right? But you can see that over here Nifty Financial Services, what is the length of this and what is the length of Nifty Private Bank. So the tail length of this Nifty Private Bank is more than Nifty Financial Services. Yes or no? Meaning Nifty Private Bank, it is again, both of them are sloping downwards. All right. So what is happening in both of them? Their momentum is losing. Okay, both in both the sectors, the momentum is losing, and momentum has lost the most. It has Nifty Private Bank has lost more momentum as compared to Nifty Financial Services. I hope you have understood this. Yes. Yes, Tarkeshwar Shukla ji, even you are absolutely right. Yep. I hope you have understood this. Yep. All right. Now, similarly, all right. So, one, you have to also judge the tail length. All right. Whose tail is longer? Longer the tail, stronger the trend. All right. Or stronger the momentum. All right. And similarly, all right. Uh, Proximity to the center line. So, this 100 over here is a center. So, those who are at the center, no, a little bit of change in momentum or strength, okay, it can change the quadrants very easily. All right. So if they are farther away, it is preferable. We will treat it as a stronger one. So if we compare, let's say, Nifty Bank to Nifty Private Bank, so again we will say that Nifty Private Bank is farther away. So again, it has more momentum as compared to Nifty Bank, and this time the momentum is downwards. Okay, they are losing momentum. All right, a little bit more loss of momentum, Nifty Bank can go into the lagging quadrant. Okay, but Nifty Private Bank may still remain in the weakening quadrant. Okay, clear everyone? Just type in the word clear if you are really clear. If you have any doubts, please type a question, comment in the comment section. Clear, right? Super, super. Okay, now coming to this board once again. Now, as you know, that there are, let me just know this. There are 4 quadrants, right? The best case scenario, what do we want? On the top right, this is the called as leading quadrant. This is called as weakening quadrant. Over here, this particular quadrant is called as a lagging quadrant, and the top left corner is called as a improving quadrant. All right. So Hari, yeah, I'm repeating, don't worry. So leading quadrant, weakening quadrant, lagging quadrant, improving quadrant. You can see over here, it is written over here: leading, weakening, lagging, improving. All right. Now, when what will happen is, if let's say a particular stock or an index is in the leading quadrant, okay, that means the momentum is strong. All right, and it is also outperforming the benchmark. Now, what will happen is, whenever the stock slows down, the momentum will get affected first, meaning the momentum will start coming down. All right, it will start coming down. So when a particular index, changes the quadrant from leading to the weakening quadrant, meaning the momentum has started slowing down. but it is still outperforming the benchmark. Why? Because it is on the right hand side of the quadrant. The first two, leading and weakening, are on the right hand side. If any reading over here on the right hand side of the quadrant, it means they are outperformer the benchmark, they are outperforming the benchmark. So if it is sloping southwards, the momentum is losing. And if the momentum keeps on losing, no, what will happen is it will start underperforming the benchmark. And if it starts underperforming the benchmark, the direction will change towards the west. And once it enters into the lagging quadrant, it means that the momentum has already lost, and it is also now underperforming the benchmark. So when a particular index or a stock enters into the lagging quadrant, okay, these are the counters. When it enters, it crosses the border. When this happens, these are the short candidates. All right, these are the short candidates. So if this RRG is a monthly chart, and on a monthly chart, if any indice or the sector or the stock enters the lagging quadrant, these are the stocks that probably you would wish to get rid of it. All right. Now, what will happen is, after prolonged being into the lagging quadrant, what will happen? The momentum will start improving first. And once the momentum starts improving, the slope, the arrow will start facing the north. And when it starts facing the north and comes into the improving quadrant, all right, meaning now the momentum is gaining, but it is still underperformer. Right? Because it is on the left hand side of the quadrant. All right, improving and lagging, they are on the left hand side, they are the left hand side quadrants. Any reading over here, meaning they are underperformer. Now it is sloping upwards, meaning the momentum has started gaining. And once the momentum starts gaining, and if it gains further, what will happen is, it will enter into the leading quadrant. All right. And once it enters into the leading quadrant over here, okay, it means that now the momentum is high, and it is also outperforming the benchmark. So these are the counters over here which you would like to get into it. All right, if it is a monthly chart, these are the counters that you would like to invest into it. If it is on a 60-minute time frame chart, these are the counters that you would look for intraday trading or very short term trading. I hope I'm crystal clear. I'm going very slow. Yep. Yes, everybody. All right. Now, what is the best case scenario from here? As of now, the stocks or the indices to get into it is, something which is changing quadrant from the improving quadrant to the leading quadrant. And getting rid of it is, something over here, which, where any sector which is entering into the lagging quadrant, okay, is something that we don't want. All right. And if you are shorts, this is where you want to go short on. All right. Now sometimes what will happen is, a particular index or a stock is in the weakening quadrant, and it gains momentum. All of a sudden it gains momentum. All right, what will happen is, this will change. And if from the weakening quadrant, if it enters the leading quadrant, this is the best case scenario, my friends. All right. uh Hari, this can be any time frame. All right, this can be any time frame. This can be a monthly time frame chart, this can be a weekly, daily, or 60-minute. Okay. So first, whatever time frame is, if any sector or the index from the weakening, if it enters into the leading directly, instead of going and completing the full cycle, this is something like it is taking a shortcut. So this is something which is called as a best case scenario for the bulls. All right. Now, if you have understood this, what is the worst case scenario or the best case scenario for the bears? Something which is, which has just in the improving quadrant, it is facing the leading one, but but all of a sudden something bad happens and it loses momentum immediately. Then what will happen is this will turn down and enter into the lagging quadrant from the improving quadrant. So this is the worst case scenario. This is the worst case scenario, and this is the best case scenario. I hope you have understood this. Yes or no? Quickly type me. Quickly type in the comment section and let me know. Okay. Did you understand the best case scenario and the worst case scenario? Yes. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your response. When I look at the response, I actually get that somebody is listening to me very carefully. All right. So good. Please keep posting. Please keep posting and commenting. Okay. All right. Now, let me show you the real chart over here. Okay. So let's now focus on the monthly time frame. Let's understand from the investor's point of view. So instead of daily, I am looking at a monthly time frame chart. Okay. On a monthly time frame chart, so this is something that we've got. All right. Now let me go back a little bit. When did Nifty start falling? From October 2024 onwards? Yes, October. Since October, October, November, December, Jan, and Feb. Since 5 months, we have seen Nifty falling only, and this is a March month, 6th month, which is still we are at the bottom only. All right. Aditya is asking any sequence we need follow, like first check sector, industry, and then stock. Yes, definitely, Aditya. It is always a top-down approach is always preferable. So we want to, as investors, we want to find out good sectors, all right, strong sectors which are looking bullish, and from those strong sectors, we want to find out strong stocks. All right, so it's always better to have a top down approach, and always better to start from the monthly chart and then come down to a lower time frame chart. All right. So I look at my mouse, check my mouse carefully. I'm just clicking it and dragging it a little bit backwards. All right, so that here we go. So this is October. So the October month is over. All right, October 2024, and over here, what can we see? This on 31st of October, you will see this. Okay, let's assume today is 31st of October, and we are looking at this RRG chart. What do we have? Most of the sectors, like oil and gas, energy, metal, infra, auto, all these are in leading quadrant. Realty, yes, especially realty, Nifty, CPSE, and PSC. All right, they all are in leading quadrant, but they are sloping down, meaning they have lost momentum. They are losing momentum since last around 5 months. Are you there with me or not? Yeah, these are losing momentum since 5 months, and Nifty PSU has lost a lot of momentum and has already entered into the weakening quadrant. All right. Now, consumer durable is still sloping, towards the right hand side. It is not sloping down, meaning it is still outperformer. But anytime soon, something like this can happen. All right. So, as an investor, if you have this particular stock, Nifty Consumer Durables, you need to put adequate stop losses in it. If the momentum is lost, then this can also enter into the weakening quadrant. So this is the stocks, where you will have to keep a stop loss on. All right. Now on the other side, you can see that Nifty IT over here from the improving quadrant, it is headed towards the leading quadrant. It may enter into the leading quadrant if this keeps on going. And over here, FMCG, Nifty Private Bank, and Nifty Media, especially Nifty Media over here, you can see that it is in the lagging quadrant. So Nifty Media on 1st of October or 31st of October is something that we have to avoid. All right. Are you all there with me or not? Yes, definitely. We will be able to see that on chart as well. I will show you. Don't worry. Okay, but first understand the concept well. All right. So now looking at this particular chart, what can an investor do? An investor can say that, hey, Nifty Private Bank and financial services, especially, you can see this Nifty Financial Services, Nifty Bank and financial services, they are sloping upwards. They have started sloping upwards. So there could be a further gain in the momentum. All right, they have already outperformed and they are already in the laggards. And IT is something that is still looking good, but it's sloping a little bit downwards. So over here, what one can do is one can at least switch over from PSU, can sell PSU, or take out some of the investments from there and get into financial services. If that would be the case, let's focus on these two only. Okay. So on the right hand side, what we'll do is we will click on financial services and PSU. All right. We'll just look at these two indices. All right. And we will be looking it from October onwards. Yeah. So yeah, this was the case on 31st of October. Now have a look at this. What happened? So see, Nifty PSU Bank, it started underperforming, but financial services entered into the improving quadrant over here. All right. And what was the date? 2nd of December. All right. And from there on, what happened? All right. Uh, so this is when you put click on the play button, it will run from starting. So here we have, see, look at the Nifty Financial Services. It has entered into the improving quadrant and is headed towards the leading quadrant, whereas PSU Bank is down here. Now, if you want to have a look at the chart, all right, what we can do is just type in over here, or you can also look at the chart over here. Click on the chart, and when you click on the chart, the monthly chart of pharma has opened up, but we want PSU. All right, so click on PSU. The monthly chart of PSU will open up. And if you also want to look at in a different way, I'll show you how to check the basically both have come down, but PSU Bank has come down more than what the financial services have come down. Okay, if click on financial services and let's look at the chart. Yeah, see, you can check that financial Nifty has not fallen much, but PSU banking stocks has fallen to a great extent. So if there was a switch made in the month of October or in the month of November from PSU banks to financial services stocks, okay, the investor would have benefited from it. Are you understanding? All right. Another way, we will cover this topic in detail later on, maybe next week, or later on something called as ratio charts. So when you click on ratio charts, over here you can select Nifty Financial Services. So Nifty Financial Services, and the second one you select Nifty PSU, PSU Bank. Say add a pair, and once the pair is added, click on it, the chart will open up. This candlestick chart is of financial Nifty, but we are not interested in this chart. We are interested in Nifty PSU, Nifty divided by Nifty PSU Bank. So at the end of October, all right, what has happened? So this is 31st of October. So 31st of October, the reading of this ratio was something 3.55, and after a while, today it is 3.9. So overall, this particular ratio has gone up, meaning the numerator has outperformed the denominator. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? All right. How RRG will help you to select the right counter to focus on, and something where you can get rid of it. All right. Coming back to RRG. Any doubts, any questions, my friends? I hope you have understood the chart that I've shown you, the ratio chart, and how did we understand that which why to sell PSU and why to get into financial services. Similarly, the same thing, you could have done even on the month weekly chart. All right. So on the weekly chart, you get the same thing, but monthly chart will is especially only for investor. It will move very slowly, very slowly. So the best thing is to look at the monthly chart at end of every month. All right, or whenever you want to invest, start with monthly chart. Try to understand which is performing, which is not. So let me do some live analysis right away. All right, on this monthly nifty RRG, what we can see right now is, see, most of them: metal, oil and gas, energy, infra, auto, CPSE, realty. All right, and even PSU is very near to enter into the lagging quadrant. All right, so this is monthly, maybe 1 or 2 more months, PSU bank can enter into the lagging quadrant. So what does this say? That these are the counters, these are the sectors that we need to avoid. So if we get out of this, if we reduce the allocation from these sectors, where can we increase the allocation? The ones which are increase in momentum. So financial services is completely is something that we can look out for. Why? Is because from the improving quadrant, it's getting into the leading quadrant. 1 or 2 more months of outperformance, this can come into the leading quadrant. All right. Similarly, FMCG, bank and private bank, these are the ones who are going northwards. Yeah. So, and so these are the four counters that we can focus on. Out of all these four, nifty financial services have already gained momentum, and if it enters into the leading, so I what I generally do is I would prefer which is crossing the border. All right, because sometimes what can happen is, if the momentum all of a sudden something it loses, this can come down also, it can turn down also. All right, so very near is something nifty bank and nifty private banks. These are the ones to change borders. So for next 1 month at least, I would focus on these two. All right, and I will also focus on nifty financial services, but will be a little bit more careful. All right, why? Because it may turn down. All right, now if I want to take some more bets also, then I would also prefer nifty media. All right, why? Is because since a long time, since last almost 5 months, it is already in the lagging quadrant, and you can see that the momentum is increasing. It is very far away. Yeah, I hope you can see the screen. Yeah, it's very far away. So this is something that I would like to place my bets on, but still in the lagging, it can it can be a risky bet. All right. So to be safe, these are the ones. If you want to add on to a little bit more risk, a little bit of more for long term. This is a monthly chart. So long term, maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, this may come up over here like this. So a little bit, nothing much to lose over it. It's already lagging. How much more it can underperform? It can become zero, right? So you can place some, bets over here with a very tight stop losses over here. All right, and maybe it can, it can just explode. Maybe something if positive comes out for. All right. Now, yes, Pooja, how to go for swing? I'm coming to it. So first we are looking at the monthly chart. Now, as an investor, we will look at the monthly chart and try to rebalance our portfolio based on this. Now, one more thing that is happening is, see, Nifty, consumer, and pharma are in the leading quadrant, but they have started losing momentum. So, time to keep stop losses over here. And Nifty IT, since last 5 months, it has remained nicely in the leading quadrant, but it may come down also, right? So this is, I will not like to fresh invest. So 5 months back, if you would have asked me, IT was the best counter to get into it. All right, and since last 4 months, it has outperformed the other indices, but now the momentum might drop. All right. So Nifty Financial Services, FMCG, bank and private bank is something that I would like to focus on in the coming few months. All right. Now, for short term, a little bit of positional or a swing trading, what can we do? Instead of a monthly chart, get into the weekly chart. All right. On the weekly chart, what can we see? On the weekly chart, so next few weeks, when we are looking at the weekly chart, we want to buy and sell, and we want to take trades for next, couple of weeks, 1 or 2 more weeks. All right. So look at this, something which is crossing border. So Nifty Energy has gained momentum, energy stocks. So from lagging, it has improved, it has got into the improving quadrant. So this is something that we can watch out for. All right. CPSE is still doing some zigzagging over here, can avoid. PSU Bank is still sloping towards the west, all right, in the lagging quadrant. Consumer durables, realty, media. So see, media is still sloping towards the west. So better avoided. All right. Pharma has entered into the lagging quadrant. All right. So again, if you're a short-term trader, rebalance, get out from the pharma, get into maybe CPSE or energy, or maybe even metal, my friend. Look at this. Look at the metal counter. From the lagging, it has entered into the leading, improving quadrant, and from the improving, it is right now headed towards leading. But we'll have to watch out whether it is going up over here or is it turning down. If there is a little bit turn down, it may enter into the lagging once again. Yes, definitely you have to plan based on this. That's why Rahul's session is there. All right. Auto, see, look at this. We just saw that. What is the worst case scenario? This is the worst case scenario. From improving, it is entering into the lagging quadrant. This is a worst case scenario. So auto, look at this. It was in the improving and has turned down and ready to enter into the lagging one. Okay. Nifty infrastructure, last few weeks, what has happened was from lagging, it entered into improving, again lagging, again improving, and this today, infra showed some strength over here. Okay, so this is kind of a confusing investors. It We can wait for infrastructure to perform and then maybe enter into it. Okay, but metal, yes, it has, look at the tail length also. It's very long, so it shows strong momentum, strong gain in momentum. All right. uh Private banks are in the leading quadrant since last 5 weeks, and now probably it is sloping downwards. Okay. So better watch out for bank. Nifty bank is in the weakening quadrant. Look at this, the best case scenario over here. We saw Nifty auto. Worst case scenario, Nifty financial services from the weakening towards the leading quadrant. All right, and it may just cross the border. So this is the best case scenario that I would be looking for. And on the monthly chart, we just saw that Nifty financial services on the monthly, it's ready to get into the improving quadrant, right? Or it was already in the improving quadrant. So see, financial services, how beautifully we found out, okay, that looking at the weekly, yeah, see, look at this. On the monthly time frame, financial services are ready to enter into the leading quadrant. All right. So this is for a longer term view. So shorter term view on the weekly, it's also entering, but directly from the weakening quadrant. So this is the best case scenario. Let's have a look at the daily time frame also. On the daily time frame, it's losing momentum. From the leading, it has entered into the weakening quadrant. All right. So now the question is when to enter into the financial services. Higher time frame, whether it is looking good only. So on the lower time frame, let it turn, no, let it turn. Right now it is in the weakening quadrant. Wait for a day or two, see whether from here it is turning up over here or not. And on the daily chart, if Nifty financial services enters into the leading quadrant, that would be the day to enter and hit the accelerator of your car and get into financial services. I hope you are understanding this. Yes or no? And again, especially for the intraday traders, maybe next 1 or 2 hours you want to look at it. What can we do? So instead of daily, look at 60-minute time frame chart. On the 60-minute time frame chart, look at this. It's in the leading quadrant, financial services. But if I want to look at all, yeah, realty is something which is looking good for next couple of hours. Infrastructure is something that has shown some strong momentum. From weakening, it entered into the lagging, and now again into the weakening, and it's headed towards the leading quadrant. So infrastructure stocks, for next couple of hours tomorrow, is something that you can focus on. Oil and gas, so something which is gaining momentum. Okay, so on the 60-minute chart, something which is sloping upwards, or which has started sloping upwards, is something that you can focus on. All right. And for the short side, something which is going downwards, all right, or towards the west, is something that you would focus for short trades. All right. So yeah, that's a fantastic way of analyzing this in just one look. All right. And let's any other questions so far, please let me know. uh what I personally do is, I personally don't get into 60-minute time frame chart. I generally look at the daily and the weekly time frame chart. I also don't look much on the monthly because it's very slow. On the 60-minute, it's very fast. So the best case scenario is daily and weekly. So as a swing trader, or as a positional trader or investor, look at the daily, weekly time frame charts, and then you can plan according to that. So financial services, something that you can look at it. Can you show financial services chart? Yes, why not? So just click on financial services, and over here you can click on the chart section. And on the chart section, the chart of weekly chart of financial services will open up. And over here, if you look at the chart, you will get some minimum data. All right, but still, I hope you can see my screen, right? So here you can also draw a trend line like this and see, hey, it's nicely supporting above this trend line. So if at all you are trading or getting into financial services, your stop loss would be this particular trend line. And if there is a weekly close below this particular trend line, all right, maybe at that time, the RRG of financial services may be entering into the lagging quadrant, or it may be sloping downwards. Okay. So I hope, Pooja, you've understood that. Yeah. Sushil ji, exactly what I was, multi time frame analysis is nothing but you start off from the monthly chart. All right. And on the monthly chart, which is looking good, you try to understand that on the weekly time frame chart. All right. Because the shorter time frame chart will move faster than the higher time frame chart. So as a long term investor, I would prefer monthly and weekly chart. As a short term positional trader, I would prefer daily and weekly time frame charts. All right. And as a, if you want to take the trades for a few couple of hours or something like that, then also you can go down to 60-minute time frame chart. For intraday short opportunities, Hariji, okay, so go back to RRG. So for shorting opportunities, you want something that is sloping downwards or sloping towards the west, right? So click on the 60-minute time frame chart, and on the 60-minute time frame chart, FMCG is something which is sloping downwards. Metal has just entered into the lagging one, but it has again started sloping a little bit upwards over here. All right. Nifty Bank, you can see Nifty Bank, the worst case scenario. From improving, it has just entered into the lagging quadrant. So maybe tomorrow for next couple of hours, this may still come down over here. So you can look at banking stocks for intraday, all right, for shorting opportunities, right? Mr. Hari, yeah. Does the position of an arrow M Mr. Money, I did not understand your question. Does the position of an arrow M meaning? Rahul is asking, Nifty Realty seems to have huge momentum into the lagging quadrant. Can we plan based on this? On what time frame that you saw Realty? So yeah, Realty over here on the weekly time frame, it is gone down. Let it remain here, Realty. Rahul, let it no, on the weekly chart, let it turn upwards a little bit. All right, and then we'll see. If you want to see, look at energy. No, see on the energy. If we just have a look at energy a few weeks ago. All right, see how has this arrow performed? So generally, all these arrows will work as a clockwise only. It will go round and round in a clockwise manner. All right. So if energy over here on 22nd of July, it was over here in the weakening quadrant, headed towards the lagging quadrant. All right. Simultaneously, all right, Nifty Energy, we'll also look at Nifty IT also. All right. So Nifty IT and Nifty Energy. Where did energy go? Here. All right. So let me go back in time. Here we are. Okay. Right. So look at this. Nifty Energy. Yeah. So this is Nifty IT. All right. On 15th of July. And on 15th of July, this is Nifty Energy. Nifty Energy is entering into the lagging quadrant, and IT is into the improving, which is headed towards the leading quadrant. So if there was a choice between these two, there's a clear option that okay, IT is something that we want to focus on, and we want to get rid of energy. Okay, so this is how you can, and then once you do this, see this. Yeah, how did IT for few days it entered into the leading over here, and now when it turned down, energy is coming up. So book profits from IT and get into energy. Yeah, if it starts turning up, no, so energy is still downwards over here, but now it has started sloping upwards. Yeah, and IT is getting into the lagging one. So this is here where we can again shift our focus on energy. All right, and get rid of IT. Yes. So this way, between various sectors, you can just juggle. Okay, Mr. Money is asking, does the position of the arrow gaining momentum but far away from y-axis have any significance? Yes, farther the away, better the it is. Okay, for example, arrow moving from lagging quadrant to improving quadrant. So from lagging quadrant to improving quadrant, uh, so we have over here, we have, let's say, two arrows. We have here we have metal and we have CPSE. All right. So what is happening over here is metal. Okay. First we'll look at the length. All right. Metal and energy, right? No, and metal and CPSC that we are looking at. Okay. So over here, the length of metal is more than the length of CPSE, meaning the momentum is more in metal than CPSE. All right. A little bit of more momentum, metal can enter into the leading quadrant. All right. And now over here, from the center line, CPSE is still far away. All right. Meaning it is more underperformer than metal. All right. So you can see the RS ratio of metal is 98.67, but for this it is 94.87. So compared to CPSE is more underperformer to Nifty 50, and compared to what metal is to Nifty 50. I hope I have answered your question, Mr. Money. But if the same thing is over here, no, if the same thing, let me find out if there are any sectors on the leading ones. that are coming down. uh, okay, so have a look at this. Let's have a look at Nifty IT and consumer durables. Okay, so Nifty IT and consumer durables over here, somewhere over here. All right, both were entering into the weakening quadrant from the leading quadrant. But over here, what was the thing? Look at the RS was 106. All right, and here the RS was 103. All right, so IT is more outperformer than consumer durables. Okay, and yeah, the length of the tail is bigger in consumer durables, meaning consumer durables has lost more momentum than what IT has lost. All right. So, Mr. Mani, I hope I've answered your question. Sushil ji is asking, in weekly metal is in an improving quadrant and in daily it is in leading. Okay, let's look at weekly chart once again, and let's look at metal. So in the weekly, metal is improving quadrant and is headed over here on the right hand side. So it has gained momentum from last week. The momentum was 100.01 and it is right now 100.86. So it has gained a little bit of momentum, and the ratio from 97.99 has gone up to 98.67. So a little bit of momentum and relative strength it has gained. All right, on the weekly time frame chart, so it is on a positive side. This is something that we can look at it. Now you are saying is that on the daily chart, what is happening on the daily chart? On the daily chart, it is already in the leading quadrant, but you can see that it has started losing a little bit of momentum. Now if maybe tomorrow or day after it loses a little bit of more momentum, this arrow will come down. Yes. And if on the daily chart, if this arrow comes down, then what will happen on the weekly time frame chart? On the weekly, this will also start coming down a little bit. And then, maybe at the end of the week or something like that, this arrow comes down over here, then again, metal would be an laggard. So we have to be very careful in Nifty metal, right? Sushil ji, I hope you have understood this. Great, super. So, my friends, this was RRG for you, and I hope I have done justice, right, in explaining the entire thing. Here you can also have your own watch list, right? Uh, so via scanners or something like that, I have just selected few stocks which has crossed above 40 EMA. So this is something that you can do. All right, just go to the scanner section over here. Yeah, in the scanner section, just click on the stocks over here, technical scanners. You can come, you can say EMA, and say weekly crossing above 40. So once you got a list of stocks over here, make a watch list. All right, once the watch list is made, come to RRG. In the RRG, you select this, and over here you will find out stocks, right, which are in the improving. There are many stocks over here, so it will be a little bit confusing. So you have to be very clear, right? I'm not going to do stock specific analysis over here. This is something that you can try for your own self and see the beauty of this. Okay, can we apply Rohit indicator on Renko charts? So at the moment, Hariji, we don't have Renko charts, but yes, definitely. Let me just check. Instead of Renko, you can use Rohit momentum on the Hakinashi chart. All right. So that is something which I also do sometimes, but I don't use Renko. So you can go to the interactive chart. Uh, And so we don't have Renko charts over here. We have something called as Hakinashi chart, which I generally use. All right, and you can definitely use Rohit momentum indicator on the Hakinashi time frame chart as well, in the Hakinashi type of candles as well. Okay, where to choose in weekly? Only in leading quadrant. So I did not understand this question, Sushil ji. Where to choose in weekly? Only in leading quadrant. I did not understand this question. Any other questions that I have missed out on? So Sushil ji, which quadrant should we choose ideally? As I said over here, it's pretty simple. Uh, any sectors which are getting directly into the leading quadrant, which are crossing borders, this is the best case scenario. The second scenario is over here, all right, where it is entering into from improving, it is entering into the leading quadrant. So these are the two best case scenarios. A little bit more best case is something which is going up over here. So this is something also which we can look at. So if I want to draw it in a green over here, we have this one. This is the best case scenario. This is the second best case scenario, and this is the third best case scenario that I can say of. All right, and for shorting the best case scenario is this, which is coming down over here. The second thing is over here. These are the counters that we can avoid, and something that is losing momentum is also something that we can look for shorting. All right. I hope this color combination is, you've understood this in a better way. Yeah, Sushil ji. Is there a scanner which can pick up stocks for intraday where Rohit indicator is about to be triggered? So yeah, Hariji, we have RMI scanner on the 60-minute time frame chart, which are new buys. I'm sure you have seen that. Yeah, in the scanner we have the RMI section over here, and in the RMI section, I'll select the sector. And in the sector, here you go, energy is in a new buy mode. All right, energy, IT, and CPSC, they are in the new buy mode on the hourly time frame chart. And very quickly, the chart will also get loaded over here. Yep. So yeah, this is a scanner for RMI. Okay. So great. If you really like this particular tool and wish to, use this tool for your own analysis and become, independent trader, investor, do subscribe for this particular platform, web.strike.money. The link to the subscription is in the comment section below, in the description section below. And let me tell you, there is a offer for especially those people who are watching this webinar live. You can subscribe for a 12-month subscription where you will get a discount, and the discounted price is 4,700 rupees for 12-month subscription, and 2,600 rupees for 6 months of subscription. All right, so you can definitely use that. And also uh, you can click on the link, or scan this QR code. All right, which is in the name of India Charts. Strike is belongs to India Charts, that is the parent company. All right, and you can subscribe to this particular software. Any doubts, please feel free to ask me. Once you have subscribed to this particular strike platform, to activate it, I would request you to type your name in the comment section and let us know that you have subscribed. Someone from our team will give you a call and help you out with further activation. Okay. So any doubts, questions, feel free to ask me. Yeah. Perfectly clear. That's great. Good to know, Mr. Money. Yeah. If I've missed on any of your questions, I'm sorry, but if you can quickly type in the questions once again, it would be helpful for me to answer you. Okay, then. Yep. So once subscribe, do let us know in the comment section. All right. Lalit Kumar ji, thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. And the same session over here, we will be conducting the same session on Thursday in Hindi language. So some of you who might have missed it, in the start of the session, of course you can look at the recording of the same session on the same link on our YouTube channels. All right, that it will be there forever. And if you want to watch live on Thursday 6 p.m. sharp, we will be starting in Hindi language. All right, the topic is the same, RRG, relative rotation graph, in Hindi on Thursday 6 p.m. sharp. Okay, so do join us. Do like the videos that we constantly post on our social media channels. Okay, there is a lot of videos on options, technical analysis, that we have made, and we post it on our Hindi and English channels both. Those videos are meant for you to learn how to trade, and how to select stocks in options in technical analysis. So do like those videos, learn from them, and do share, subscribe as well. Okay, so have a thank you, Tarkeshwar ji. Have a great evening ahead, and I see you all on Thursday 6 p.m. Right. Bye bye, see you.